diegetic and non-diegetic UI in VR games and how it impacts players' immersion and behavior. I'm Adam Alpsul and I study computer game design. The motivation for this topic stems from my UI UX background, which includes freelancing and a recent UX UI design internship, in which I learned UX and user research strategies of redesigning an internal system used by a number of employees. There are subsections of UI, so let's start with non-diegetic UI. It is most traditional UI that only the player can see, for example Minecraft's UI. Spatial UI is in the game space, but the characters don't see it, for example Left 4 Dead character outlines. Meta UI is in the game's narrative, but isn't spatially shown, like blood splatter in FPS games. Diegetic UI interfaces are included in the game world. Both the player and in-game character can see them. The example is a Pip-Boy wristband in Fallout 4. These are some examples of games that use Diegetic UI, which could be also used as examples when creating UI in VR. Dead Space, Far Cry 2, Metro Last Light have the most recognizable Diegetic UI. The leading obstacle to mass adoption of VR is the user experience, according to Statista. As emerging technologies such as VR get more adopters, new ways of displaying information in this VR space must be considered as important when designing experiences and games in it. In order to create an immersive experience in VR, traditional UI overlay menus may detract from the experience since they take the player out of the game world. Diegetic UI in general is more challenging to make than traditional UI because it has to fit the game's theme but also tie the game in with real life. During my research, I have found that the issue when creating fully diegetic UI is that the games still need to present information in a clear and concise way. Functionality must be kept when implementing diegetic UI. The game UI must be informative first and foremost, as it may distract or confuse newer players and gamers new to VR. Legal challenges arise in not causing harm, such as video game-induced seizures. The Epilepsy Foundation states that these are caused by prolonged playing of exciting and provocative video games. For user testing, I will need a variety of the most popular VR headsets, such as Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, Valve Index, etc., set up on a high-end PC capable of running VR games. The evaluation will aim to identify the user's behavior during interactions with diegetic UI compared to interactions with more traditional UI and VR. Finally, qualitative information will be collected through pre- and post questionnaires and focus groups, acquiring the user's subjective feedback.